Hi, my name is Oorvi and I have just gotten done with the 90-day Bake It Till You Make It mentorship program by RJ, and I'm here to share my experience and everything that I felt about it. So I have been baking full time for the last 2 years, prior to which I was working in the corporate, and I decided to quit and start my own baking business. I have not gone to a baking school, or I don't hold a professional degree in baking. When I left my job, I wanted to give myself some time to discover and learn some things by myself. And then when I felt ready, I wanted to go to a baking school. But as time passed and I was focused on growing the little business that I have, I realized I do not have the heart to leave it temporarily and go to a baking school. But I knew I wanted to really upskill myself. Apart from small courses here and there which are focused on maybe one dessert, I have not taken any other big courses. These courses have always been like a one-time class or over a 2-day period. And I have been following RJ for a while, and about 3 or 4 months ago I decided to take this course because it really intrigued me, and I always wanted to create something unique, something beautiful, and rise above just the basic. And I think French pastry has always been exciting. I've always, wondered how it would be like if I could also create those things. But honestly, I just never knew where to start, or because it's a big world, right? For example, I tried to make eclairs myself at least 11 to 12 times, but I never got it perfectly right. And the internet or anybody else was not able to answer these tiny questions that I had, but these tiny questions really add to your final result. So when I took up RJ's course, every week we were doing something new. It was very, very exciting to be able to, even approach a new dessert that you earlier might have thought that, oh God, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it. That looks very tough. That looks something that has a lot of technicalities. But what I really love about the course is that not only do you have a detailed, recipe, detailed notes, detailed videos, it's the fact that you have to make the final assessment every week. You have to make the final dessert. And when it's so fresh in your mind, you get on a very detailed call with RJ where you can ask any questions. It does not always have to be related to the exact dessert that you're making. But that's what baking is. Never only about just the recipe, just the temperature, just the techniques. I think it's all these little things put together. And when you understand all these little things, it really opens your mind and you get more confident in being able to bake so many things. Like coming back to talking about eclairs and choux pastry, which I've tried many times before this course, but I just never got it 100% perfect, and I didn't know why. And after the course, I can proudly say that they turn out amazing, and I was able to ask such small questions to RJ, which he happily always helped me with. I learned about my oven that I've had for 2 years for the first time ever, and now I know how I need to adapt the settings of my oven to different elements that I'm making. How this course has been different is that there is accountability. You've not just signed up for a course where you're getting a lot of recipes, you're getting some videos, and that's it. You're getting support after which you make the assignment, or during the time that you're making the assignment, right? From which maybe brand to use, from which ingredient to use, from what substitutions to make, everything is really covered. RJ also throughout the course shares her ideas on what the desserts could be like. So if you're making macarons, of course in the course we are learning maybe 3 or 4 different flavor pairings. We're learning macaron shells, but she also sends us so many other macaron ideas that we can also keep in our mind for future, and that gives us more ideas to work with. It helps us to think outside the box and not just go for your usual maybe flavor combination that you choose. And RJ creates such beautiful desserts, so that gets really inspiring. Like you want to be able to make something like that. And you know that to make something like that, you really need to, understand the science, understand the flavor combinations, understand everything. I wish the course could have gone on forever, but now that it's over, I know that I have so much, knowledge, so much more. Even if you do something one time, you understand what it takes. So that little fear or that little uncertainty sort of goes away, and you just know that you can do it. I feel much more, confident. I am not nervous about the whole French baking world anymore. I am urged to try new flavors. I know that even if something challenges you, you know that if you do it, how many ever times it takes you to, you know that you're gonna get to it. And now it's going to be a little bit easier for you because you're understanding all these little things from your oven, from your own ingredients, from the temperature or the environment you're working in. So all of these things that play a role in the final dessert, you understand. So I know it's going to make it a little bit easier for me. And if you are an amateur baker, or even if you're not an amateur baker, but if you haven't entered this world and you are really intrigued by French pastry, I think RJ's course is the one to do. The one-on-one calls, the personal attention that you get, where you can ask any question, literally any question. It really clears up a lot of questions. It clears up a lot of doubts. And you know that all these missing pieces, if something you've tried before, are all going to get fixed. And it's just such a fun course. Every week we're learning something new, and it's not just you're learning about macarons. When you're learning about maybe a orange ganache or a citrus curd, you know that it's not only going to go in macarons. You can use that for cupcakes, you can use that for cakes. And so you're not only learning one full dessert, but you're learning so many things, and it's up to your creativity to use them however you like.